Hi everyone, and welcome to the tutorial. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to work a cast-on version of a make one left increase. You're probably familiar with the traditional version of a make one left increase, which involves picking up the strand of yarn between your just worked and next to be worked stitches with your left hand needle, and from the front to the back of your work, like this. And then you knit that strand through the back loop. And there's our completed make one left increase. We've added one stitch to our work and the appearance of the stitch is directional, so we can see that it's leaning towards the left, which looks really neat when used in the right places of our knitting. This is a great increase for a wide range of applications and I use it myself all the time. So what I'm going to show you today is just a variation on the same theme. Where you might find this alternative cast-on version most useful is where you're working a stitch pattern which is quite tight, and using the traditional make one left would add an undesirable amount of extra tension into our knitting. Because this increase needs to borrow yarn from the surrounding stitches, it shrinks those stitches down and can make your fabric quite firm and dense. That may not be something we want, so we need to look for an alternative increase. So let's jump into the demonstration of the cast-on version of a make one left. The first thing we're going to do is knit to the point where our pattern says to work our make one left, and we'll pretend it's just here. And then we're going to wrap our working yarn around our left thumb clockwise. So if we remember that a clockwise circle is traveling in this direction, that means that this is the direction we will wrap the yarn around our thumb. So it needs to come around to the front of our thumb first before it wraps around to the back, and then we can see that clockwise circle. Now I like to hold the end of yarn which is attached to my ball with the fourth and fifth fingers of my left hand, so that just holds it in place. And then you can have your yarn at the back of your work, so just resting at the back of this left hand needle to keep it out of the way. So then what we're going to do is take our right hand needle and touch it to the web of our left thumb, the webbing just here. And then we're going to bring the needle up and into the loop of yarn around the thumb. So we catch the yarn with the needle. And then we drop the yarn from our left thumb and pull the yarn to tighten. And there is our make one left increase. And you can see how similar it looks to the traditional version of the make one left increase as well. Then if we are going to be knitting our following stitches, we make sure that the yarn is at the back of your work. If you're purling the next stitch, you would just bring the yarn to the front of the work like that. And that is our increase complete. I'll demonstrate it again for you. So we'll pretend that the pattern is saying to make one left here again. So we wrap the yarn around our left thumb clockwise, and then just hold it in place like that. Then bring the right hand needle to the webbing of the left hand, then up and into the loop of yarn around the thumb, drop the yarn from the thumb and pull to tighten. And there's our completed increase. Let's do it again. Wrap the yarn around the left thumb clockwise like that. Bring your right hand needle up and into the loop by coming from behind. Then drop the yarn from the left thumb and pull to tighten. And we'll do one more make one left. So pretend that here's a spot, we want to make one left. Wrap the yarn around the left thumb clockwise. Come up and into the loop around the thumb, working from the webbing of your left hand. Drop the yarn from your left thumb and pull to tighten. So that is how you work the cast-on version of a make one left increase. What I'd like to show you now is how to work your increase stitches in your next row or round. And what I'm actually going to recommend is that whether you're knitting or purling, you work those increase stitches through the back loop. So rather than knitting or purling into this loop at the front of the needle, you're actually going to insert your right hand needle into the back loop that's just here. So because I'm working stockinette stitch flat, that means I'm now purling all of these stitches. So I'm going to come in with my right hand needle into the back loop like this, and then complete purling that stitch as normal. It's not absolutely crucial to be working your increased stitches through the back loop, and this is only in the subsequent round immediately after you've worked the increases. After that, you are just working those stitches as normal. So it's not absolutely crucial that you work the stitches through the back loop, but what it does is add an extra little twist into the stitch, which I find helps to minimize any hole that can appear just below the stitch. And also what it does is match the appearance of your make one left increases perfectly with your make one right increases, if you're using the instructions for a make one right increase that I've provided in another video. So again, I've come to my increase and I'm going to purl it through the back loop like that. That's all you need to do. And now I just want to show you, if I flip my work over, how I would work that stitch if I was knitting in the round. So we'll pretend that I am working in the round here. So I'm now coming at the increase from this direction. And again, I'd recommend knitting into the back loop of the stitch. So it's this loop back here. And so if we knit, we insert our needle this way. So hopefully you can see how I'm inserting my needle there, and then complete knitting the stitch as normal. And you can see the extra little twist that it puts into the increase. So that is how we work a make one left increase in a cast on version. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon for the next video.